Nobody's here at this moment. So since no one is here right now, let me go run and do something. And I'll be back with you all. Just hang in there with your girl, Casey McDaniel, coming to you about Don't Fall for the PI social media threats. Okay? Don't fall for the PI social media threats. I don't know how I worded it in the title, but this is like deja vu. I'll be right back with you. I had to go find my glasses. I need my glasses. I can't see. Hey, how are you? Isaac Logs, how are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mm-mm-mm. Just gonna wait for some more people to get in here so I can start this conversation. Um, ooh, 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 ooh. My day is going pretty well. Thank you for asking. I'm having a wonderful day. I mean, the rain has stopped. Early this morning, it was raining, and it was raining. It was off and on raining, but then the sun came out, and then it started raining again. But at least I didn't get caught up in all of that stuff. Well, I thank you for asking anyway. Yeah. Well, earlier when I did a live talking about the fact that they are trying to that they want to start the process of doing this document series on P. Diddy, like they did in Surviving R. Kelly. And I just don't want to go with that because I think that's more like a tactic that the prosecutors are using so that they can have a head in giving this man uh, a trial, like a trial where it's going to prejudice the public. And I just don't think that will be a good thing to, say, oh, we want him so desperately that this is what we're going to do. And I try to tell people here that come to my channel that what my channel is about. My channel is not on um, helping the public, and my views are not like the public views, okay? My views are more on Christian principles and Christian standards, and I try to walk people through, like, as I go through this journey. When I see a soul that's on the line, like right now, Diddy's soul is on the line, and I try to give people another way of looking at things from a different point of view instead of looking at it the way everybody like. You got to think outside the box. Don't just think just because you're going to join the bandwagon that this man is guilty of a crime. This man did this. He has had a history of doing blase, blase, blase. So we got to look at everything that's going on right now and what led up to this. Hey, yeah, so how did all of this begin? You got to start from the beginning all the way. Right now, we in the middle of it. This is not the end. Okay, this is the middle of um, Diddy coming to um, his end with his career with the industry. Now, people out here saying he's a hip hop artist. That's wrong information right there. He's not a hip hop artist. He is in the business part of um, the culture of hip hop. He's in the business part of the culture of hip hop. Diddy never made a song. All the songs were sung by other artists, but he worked behind the fact of promoting them. He worked in that part of his career behind the scene, but he also made himself presence. Like just like you, I don't know if you remember Janet Jackson when she was signed to what were their names again? Oh, let me go and do my research. Oh God, when Janet Jackson, she worked with they were two brothers. They were behind the scene. They promoted her work. They did all her promotion tours and everything in her business part of her music. You know, yeah, that was Diddy was not an artist. Okay, he worked with Bad Boy Records. He first started off as an intern in his career in um what's the music what was the name of the let me do my research here, y'all. Okay, I don't want to give any misinformation. No misinformation here. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, I think their names was, that worked with Janet Jackson. They promoted her work and everything. Jimmy Jam, let me look up Jimmy Jam first. Remember, she did her music productions, producers. They were producers and songwriters. And Diddy didn't do the songwriting. He got people to do the songwriting or whatever for the artists. Like Faith Evans, she worked behind the scene as well. She wrote songs for like the artists that was on that some wrote their own music and some didn't. But Diddy did more of the work behind the scene of managing the artists and promoting their work and getting their names out there. He did more of that engineering. This isn't that's what he studied in engineering and mass. That's what he got his doctors in and everything in entertainment, and that's what he does. Okay, he did the business. You could say the business part of the engineering part of the work of the artist. You see, he didn't write the songs, he didn't produce the songs, he didn't do none of that part. All he did was the business to get the money that they would ask for. He will, get them out there on tours and promote their stuff and do all of that stuff. Yeah, that's the work that Diddy did. He did the business part, okay, and he got companies to invest in his art, in the artists. That's the work that Diddy did. He did not do the part. He was not a hip hop. He was not a hip hop artist. So people need to stop giving that false and do your research, people. Just do your research. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, okay? This is who they are. They worked with Prince. They worked with produced Michael Jackson. They produced some of his work. Um, Also, Yeah, that's what they did, and he did work with like Motown and other entities or companies or whatever like that. These people, or like if they like the artists and everything, he was the person that promoted them. He was the one that got them the business deals and the contracts and all of that other stuff. That's the work that Puffy Combs did. Okay, that's what he did. These artists came out, they came with their work, whatever. He's like, oh, I got this dude I want y'all to meet, blah, blah, blah. He was like in the management part. He was part of the getting the money, getting in the contracts and all of that other blase for the artist. And of course he got his cut from what the work he do for them. If things went well, they got paid, Diddy got paid. Everybody got paid. Everybody that had work behind the scene of the artist. That was what his work was. People putting out here the hip hop mogul. He was a businessman. He's a hip hop businessman. Okay? He wasn't the man on the mic that people would say. He threw the parties, he promoted the artists, he promoted the work, he would that. He made the business deals, he was able to bring in the money, he was able to get people investment in the work of the artists. Yes, R. Kelly was a songwriter. That's what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly was a songwriter. Now, sometimes people will be like, well, you know what? I could get R. Kelly to write your song. See, R. Kelly, see, this is what people don't even understand about the behind the scene of these celebrities and their lifestyles and what they do and how they do it. And this is part of the work of business. Now, what they trying to come at Diddy for in this situation is that he got somebody pissed off, right? In this work of his. He's somebody that probably just like, look, man, this didn't work out the way it should have worked out, so we going to just like do it like blah blah blah. And so he just feel like he was treated and he got messed up. And people fight behind a business there. That's what any business. There's always some what they call, before the action come out in the public and everything. Hi, Kinger. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Casey McDaniel's channel. So, I just tell people, do your own research, be a critical thinker. Don't, follow what everybody feeds you out here on these platforms. Before this happened with Diddy, this happened before with Robert Sylvester Kelly, and they were successful at what they did of prejudicing the mind of the public and mute R. Kelly and organize all these groups. Time's Up, Mute R. Kelly, and Me Too. These organizations that got together, and these women and said that R. Kelly made sex trafficking, meaning that, well, you don't care about him. You don't have to care about him, Kinga, but it's good to get this information because you never know. Do you have children? Are you married? What kind of work do you do? It's never about caring about the person. It's about caring about seeing yourself in a situation one day. And the more you learn in this world about what other people, made some. Well, yeah, I want my wife. We're 18. Well, how old are you? You 18? Well, at 18 years old, you don't really know where your life is going to go. 18, that's kind of like still young. Okay, so you should learn about some of these things in acting and things. And this is what this is all about. Like the things that they trying to come for Mr. Diddy for is of Sean Combs for is they trying to say he was having people do certain things, um, the order for them to get certain record deals, promotions, or to get produced or whatever. Like that's what they mean by S trafficking. Like people having to compromise themselves and do things under false and under manipulation under power and those sort of things. Like they come there to promote their songs, promote their music, whatever, get a shot, get a deal with the record company, get a deal with them, they work or whatever, and then they are forced to do certain things in order to get it. Things that they have to comp. I care about safety too, Kinger. Okay, good. It's good to learn this information. Yeah, that's what people do. You go on YouTube, you listen to conversations on YouTube, and the thing is that we get some crumbs that might be able to help us some way along the some things that help us along the way. You know what I'm saying? It's not here to you have options. There's if you don't care about Diddy, because I'm having a conversation about him right now. So if this is not what you want to hear, then you don't really have to stay here to hear it. I'm just having that conversation, but I welcome you here on my channel. But if this is not what you're interested in, then this is what I'm having a conversation about. So we keep it exit. But hit the like button as you exit in and you exit out. Please hit the like button. I see 9 people right now watching. I would appreciate it if you please can hit the like button as I'm having this conversation with you, if I'm sharing this content. Right. That's all you can do is tell them, but it's up to them. You know what I'm saying? It's still up to them. We don't control any human being's mind, not even our own children. You don't. You can help them and you can try to give them the best advice ever as a parent and guide them along the way. But we are all born with a sinful nature. And there's some other things that can just influence your children that can draw them into certain things. You think Diddy's mother was, oh, my son is going to be born and he's going to go into the engineering of music and in music and communication and entertainment and communications or whatever. You never know what you're giving birth to in this world. You just never know. That's why I said I'm just not with all the, you know, chalupa and all the joining the bandwagon and jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, he's did this. He should be suffer. Oh, he killed Tupac. He killed Biggie. He did this because he had a relationship with these people. So automatically they want to make it sound like he did this. He did that. He ordered the shots. And then you got this Gene Wilder or whatever his name is going on his platform who was supposedly worked for Diddy as a bodyguard. And now he's unemployed. So he got to find a way to hustle. You know what I'm saying? This is what the tactics people. This is what people do. They got to find another way to make a living off of what they used to do. Now they don't got are they unemployed and they don't no longer have a job like a job that they used to have. So now they got to find a new way to try to hustle to make money. So they're going to sell these stories on YouTube. They're going to sell you. They're going to come on your platform. They're going to have these conversations about they um time on they working with Diddy. They know Diddy because his right now his is the hottest gossip channel. I mean, the hottest gossip on a celebrity life. So people gonna go, okay, thank you, Kinger. Yeah, people want to go and they're going to hop on this conversation. They're going to go over there, listen to all of this. He's going to tell you, oh, yeah, I saw this. I witnessed that. I blah, blah this. I blah, blah that. And for all you know, he probably already working with the feds. You know what I'm saying? To cut him a deal to get his immunity. That's what they did with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. They paid these people immunity to keep them that, like, look, you witness against this so and so person. Here's your immunity. They give them PPP loans. They gave them housing. They gave them whatever. And these people are desperate, and they were offered these kind of deals with the prosecutors. And this is what they did. They go on platforms and they start selling you these stories that they were an employee. They worked with Diddy. They saw him do this. They saw him throw sex parties. They saw him, you know, doing drugs. They saw him soliciting prostitution. I mean, not soliciting, sex trafficking, making people do certain things, act in certain way. Which I tell you, I want the man, if he did anything wrong, let him be, you know, trialed in the court of the American justice system and not in the court of public opinion. Okay? If they have to trial him, and we're going to hear both sides of the story, we get all the evidence, get to see all the evidence and everything. And just like they did Robert Sylvester Kelly, this is what they're going to. Yes, please get those likes up. Just like they did Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, they are going to keep it closed circuit from the public. Now, people going to want to attend the trials, like some of Robert Sylvester Kelly supporters did. They went out there to the courthouse. They got inside. They got the information from the inside story, not what was given on the highlights. They got the inside story, and they came back. Bloggers and people that want to know more information about going to the courthouse, getting the information, listening to the trial, whatever, the public. Okay. And then there's some people that just ain't gonna be doing all that. They ain't gonna go traveling all over the place, spending money that they really don't have to spend to get an airline ticket and go someplace to go, you know, get the news, the inside news. So it is what it is. But you got to think for yourself. You got to think what is right, what is wrong, and also from where I'm coming from, my Christian point of views. I'm not thinking like everybody else is thinking. I think differently, and the most important thing for right now for me for Diddy is his soul. Um, welcome, Hadan. Like I said, it could be Diddy today. It could be you tomorrow. It could be your son. It could be maybe even be your daughter or whatever. And this is like sex crimes against women, violence against women. But let me tell you something. There's violence against women like we just with a couple of weeks ago, Mahogany Jackson. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Now everybody's on their platform talking about Diddy. Nobody's talking about what's going to come up. Mahogany. Hey, Jordan. Nobody's talking about the Mahogany Jackson, that horrific crime that was committed against that young girl, that young mother. Regardless of how she lived her lifestyle, she did not deserve to die the way her, um, the way she was done in the end, living the lifestyle that she lived, and nobody is no out here now saying, "Oh, Mahogany Jackson, get whatever for." See, this is how people are. You know what I'm saying? The people that get out here in the public. It's about Diddy, but it's also about other things. Like I just said in my title of this video, I said that don't believe the threats that's going on in the around people talking about now. They're using this tactic. They saying it's another tactic by the PI. By the prosecutors, to say that Diddy's people are out here threatening people on social media. Da 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 da. They did the same thing with the R. Kelly trial, the R. Kelly thing. People coming out here, they out here saying that they infiltrators. They out here saying they know yes, God protect us, Hadan. That's all we can do. Speaking to the universe, speaking to the Lord, keep us covered under the blood. Keep us covered under the blood. And we see a soul on the line, and we out here on the battlefield, and we out here for the Lord. Like that song goes. I don't know if some of you grew up listening to some of the Christian music, the gospel, or whatever. I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. And a soul is out there on the line. Okay, I say Diddy's soul is on the line. Sinners have souls too. And the thing is that we as supposedly be soldiers of the cross, soldiers of the Lord. We supposed to be out here trying to direct people's hearts to Christ, not to crucify him, not to judge him, not to harm him with their mouth, with their, whatever evil that's going on in their heart right now, in their minds that they consume. And we want to give people, we want to lift up Jesus. We want to bring people to him and say, God, forgive. We supposed to be forgiven. Now, whatever crime he has committed, that's something he has to deal with. And it is punishment, and God will deal with that. And they said, well, why? Well, God has got people out here working for him. But, of course, I told the story on my Facebook page about, I'm surprised that some of these Christians out here who's supposed to call themselves Christians, and they right along in the mix of the judgment of Diddy, and they out here saying horrible things as Christian people. And I'm like, you a Christian? If I'm listening to that, that's why I'm glad I read my word. I read my word, and I study my word for myself. Like what they did to Jesus Christ. What did they do to Christ? One day they were singing Hosanna, Hosanna, blessed the King, Hosanna, that, time during that Passover and the Jewish culture, whatever at the time. That's what they had, they Passover and everything else like that. And then during the Passover, they got to let a criminal out. During that time, if somebody was a criminal and they was caught for a crime, they committed a crime or whatever, that person would have to be released. That they have to give that person up, back into population or whatever. But anyway, they was out there praising Christ out. He had his 12 men, his boys, his disciples, whatever, and they were all down with him, and they was all out there, with Christ, join that movement. And the next thing you know, when time came, of course, his boy, we all know Judas was the one who served, that gave the Roman, or told the people where he were to come get him. He set it up, and he got his 30 pieces of silver. And we all know how Peter, who was supposed to be his other boy, he got out there and said, oh, and of course, Judas, and we see who Judas is playing in this scenario. We know with the Diddy thing, we see the Judas. Yes, I see whatever, 4 people, 8 people right now. Please get the likes up, y'all. Please. Okay. We see who the Judas is. We see how 50 Cent keep trolling him. 50 Cent keep agitating stuff. 50 Cent is doing, applying that whatever pressure, clowning him or whatever, all on social media, blah, 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 because of his so-called baby mama. And he's saying some things about her as well. But he's just really, really trolling Diddy. And he's been doing it for a long time, even before. But he was doing it because he was already working for whatever reason he was working it up for. Just like Judas. Judas had, come on. We don't know if he did that, Hadan. See, that's the whole thing where people don't understand. You saying, oh, he had money, he got family, he got blah, blah. See, that's everything everybody looking at. The money, the family, and people who love him. Who said these people love him? Money, just because you got money don't mean you got love. Don't got friends, real friends. You see what I'm saying? All of that is all of that stuff right there. You ain't got no real friends when you got money, you got fame, you got this, that, the other. You showing, doing, living, very flamboyant, and you out here doing whatever flashy and things of that nature. Those people ain't your friends. I don't know if he got so many fans. As you can see now, he ain't got not too many. Who flew to Africa? Ain't nobody flew to Africa. Why you saying that? Why do Africa fly to America? People could travel wherever they want to go. If they want to go on vacation, they want to go somewhere to study, they want to go somewhere to explore or whatever. I mean, why you came with that comment saying why they fly to Africa? That sounds like a little undertone something you saying there. Uh no, he don't have a lot of fans. He never did have a lot of fans. Did he never had a lot of fans? Like I said, he was a businessman. Business. Friends and business don't mix. Okay, but anyway, like I said, about the story, we going back to the crucifixion of Christ. He went, and of course, he had so called all these millions of followers, people that really, really was there, like, oh, around him, his boys, whatever. They said they love him, they're going to die with him, and they're going to go down with him. And especially Peter. Peter and Jesus at his last supper, he knew, he called them out, he knew who they were. He told Judas, just like he told Judas, he says, go ahead, handle your business. Handle your business. Excuse me, y'all, I got to turn this fan up a little bit more because I am hot. Give me a second. Oops. I need to throw this fan up a little bit more. So anyway, um, he don't have any fans. He don't have any friends. He only have associates. People he met in his. He only have co-workers and people that he met in the work that he does in the entertainment world, in the social, entertainment world, whatever. They do parties, they do venues and things of that nature to get people to invest, to make investments and stuff like that, and make business deals and all that other good stuff. And what I'm saying is that some of the people, the women were and men coming to say that this man um, was trafficking them, like meaning that if they came to Diddy for a proposition for a music career, he's like, yeah, I can get you that money, but guess what you got to do? You know what you got to do, right? You're gonna have to sleep with me, or sleep with somebody, or do a threesome, foursome, whatever. This is what they are saying about the S trafficking. You know, if I was to come to Diddy, and I said, Diddy, I'm looking to make, you know, it's like going on a job interview. Say, for instance, you go on a job interview and they ask you, here's your resume. These are the places you work. Here's your references and everything that they can check. You tell them about, you know, your work history and things of that nature. So these people will come to him on an interview, whatever, showing him their work, showing them what they want to bring, and he'll ask them, well, how much are you look? How much are we could offer you like great. We could offer you like 40,000, 40, say 40 million. We looking to give you 40 million. And the person is like, he says, but there is something that you got to do. You have to um, lay on, to the woman. I could only talk for the woman because I don't want to talk about that other stuff. But because that grosses me out. But this is what you're going to do. You're going to sleep with this female. You and her going to get together. Y'all going to do a twosome and I'm going to watch. And y'all going to have to let me film you while you are doing this because this is something we need as a close, like this is something I got for you. You know what I'm saying? For you to make your 40 so and so million or your so and so amount. You know, things of that nature. This is what I'm saying about sex trafficking. Okay? And that's what they claim that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly did and a whole lot of other. But, you know, it didn't even start with Diddy and it didn't start with R. Kelly. And I just want people to know that. It's the business, it's the whole entire business. It's just the way the business there is. But these are people saying this is what Diddy had them do. And they putting it on him to be the fall guy. Just like they did it to Robert Sylvester Kelly. And the prosecutors are using this as a tactic. And now somebody's going around saying they are a private investigator for Diddy and making threats to people on social media. Which me myself, I don't believe that is truly what's happening because I just like deja vu. People said the same thing about Robert Sylvester Kelly had hired some private investigators to go around and make threats. They even said that even some people came on here said they was his managers and they put themselves on platforms and said that they were you know, Robert's manager. What was his name again? Because you put that in the chat for me, those who followed the whole saga of the Robert Sylvester Kelly when all of this was going on with R. Kelly. What was his name again? Oh my God. I can't even remember these people's name. Oh my God. What was his name again? He got on platforms. He said he was a manager. Don Russell. Okay. Don Russell. We had Don Russell. Let me write the names down so I don't forget. See, when these things went down, some people got on here and said they were his family members, they were his sisters, they were family, you know, all kind of stuff. And we still got some that's still running around talking about they his cousin. Okay? So you're gonna get all of that with Diddy. You're gonna get people coming out of the woodworks. Out of the woodwork. And guess who the people and who they working for? They not working for Diddy. They are not working for Diddy. We spoke on Don Russell, Demetrius Smith. He was Demetrius Smith. Now let's talk about Demetrius Smith, who he was in this Robert Sylvester when all this was going down with Robert Sylvester Kelly. He was supposed to have been Demetrius Smith, who got immunity. Okay, immunity. This. He was from the streets anyway. He was from the streets anyway, and he was a pedo, and he was a pedophile. You know, and I don't want to get all into the details about his life and make him so relevant. But Demetrius Smith, who was also supposed to have been Robert Sylvester's tour manager, he was a tour. He was supposed to have been like a tour manager, and he was the person and everything who supposed to have set up the marriage that was orchestrated. Okay, orchestrated by, of course, we don't know. Aaliyah has an uncle, Barry Hankerson. It was a business deal. Brought R. Kelly around Aaliyah when she was a little girl, helped her with her music and all this other nonsense. It was Barry Hankerson, okay? To this day, from what I heard, he was married to also to Gladys Knight. Look how the business go. Gladys Knight. Okay, we speak about her and Barry Hankerson marriage. He was married to Gladys Knight. So Aaliyah, when she was a small child and everything, now they're trying to say, oh, R. Kelly was with Aaliyah when she was 10, 12, whatever years old. No, it was her uncle who introduced her to work with R. Kelly on her album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Okay? And of course, R. Kelly was the one who introduced her in her work. And all of a sudden, the rumors went out there like this that he and Aaliyah and the guys that they put R. Kelly in this group to bring him out as an artist. And that group was called Public Announcement. They went on tour. That was to promote the song. At the time, I forgot what song they were doing. At the time, he did with Public Announcement, and he was the lead singer. And of course, when you in a group and you the one that everybody is, hey, R. Kelly, everybody's all for R. Kelly, right? You know you got some haters. Then you remember there was a Sparkle. She was a female that was also Sparkle. She was supposed to have been R. Kelly's protege. At one time, she did songs with R. Kelly and everything. Then there was another group of girls that came out that he produced, introduced and everything, changing faces. Okay, but they didn't have no parts of this. And there was a little, a Christian, you could say a Christian female group called Trinity Six, and all these girls, Pauline, and and as the list go on and on and on and on and on and on. So the thing is that they will set R. Kelly up to work with these young women, and what they would do is they would tell these young women and everything when R. Kelly will go to them because he was a hot dog, he was sexy, he was young, he was what? And who was pulling the strings? It was some other guy from the top that was making these young ladies lay down for their record deals, for their money, for their whatever they were in there for, to have sex with the artist Robert Sylvester Kelly. But they're going to make it look like, because his face is out there, that he's the predator. But they use him as the face, as the fall guy, to protect the man that's really up there, that's running and pulling the strings. And is not Robert Sylvester Kelly. He's just doing what they called him to do for his career. It's not R. Kelly. And in this case, it was not R. Kelly, I'm sorry, because that's past tense. Because his trial, he already went to trial. They already got him. They already prejudiced the mind of the public. They already gave him, they railroaded him. They did what they can to get what they wanted to get to take R. Kelly down. Okay? As the artist. He's not the top guy that was running the organization of organized crime. It's just like my job and your job. I work for Macy's. I'm just a sales girl. I go out there and I promote the products. I promote the market, the store, and things of that nature. But I'm doing my job. These are the things they call for me to do. These are the things that I have to do my job of the things I know and go beyond to do whatever for the company. It's the same for anybody else's job. That R. Kelly is not the top dude of the organization in the industry. Yes, he wrote for a lot of artists there. He helped promote a lot of artists there in his career um, of music, and he was a great, talented genius in his work, and he probably still working with some artists now. Even while he's off the scene, he's not out here performing. You don't see him, but his work is still being out there. He still got work out there. Oh, it's deep, y'all. is really, really deep. So, in the Diddy's case, of course, they set this up. From the time this young man was climbing in his career of his success, they now want to come at him and say, oh, he was trafficking young women and men, and he was making young men do this and make young men do that, and making this proposition with this girl and making this proposition with that girl, and he beat up Cassie, and he did this and he did blase blase that, when they already had planted they people around Diddy. They planted everything around him. This is your job to do this. This is your job to do that. This is your job to do this. And this is your job to do that. And all the people that he was close to, how they trying to now keep everybody silent because you're next. And the thing is, when you watch these gangster movies, and this is what I was talking about in my previous video, in my previous live, and I'm sorry those of you who were there. I say to people when I'm live streaming and I have an article or anything in the screen, I cannot see you. So whenever I'm on those kind of lives and I'm not responding to your conversation, that's because I cannot see you in the conversation, because sometimes it's very hard for me to have a conversation. I can't see you. I can't see you. I'm just giving you the article or whatever I'm got in the screen, and I can't see you when you talking in the chat. I can't see your conversation. So it's not like I'm being rude. I just want to bring that to your attention. I'm not being rude. I just can't see you. I'm not ignoring you. Now I'm just explaining to you how this business is, how this thing goes. And that's why I tell people you have to know how to think for yourself. Don't fall for these tactics. Don't be fooled by it. And of course, people are going to be fooled by it. People are up here, oh, he killed Biggie, he killed Tupac, he did this, that, and the other. Tupac and Biggie were not killed by Diddy. That I can tell you 100%. Tupac and Diddy were not. They're going to try to frame something, or Suge, or anything else like that. Trust me. It wasn't Tupac. I mean, they wasn't killed by Diddy. It's those higher ups that put the hit out to keep them silent, or to make it look like, or frame it and make it look like somebody else did it. That's what they do. You'll never know the truth behind that. You'll never know who did Diddy. You will never know who did Tupac either. But that was something that was going to come, because that was a part of the business. Just like with Marvin Gaye and what happened with his father. Just like with, well, we all know David Ruffin, the story about the Temptations. He was the lead singer and everything. How he died, well, of course, he was he got bigger than himself. And of course, he was an addict and a drug addict and everything else like that. And he, trauma things, people, people just, it happens, whatever. That's life. I'm not calling out saying this man killed blase, blase, blase. That's just how it is, how they set it up. And this stuff been going on from before Christ even got on this earth. I mean, before the crucifixion of Christ, the evil that people were doing to each other in this world. That's just the human nature of people when they, want to do things that want to take somebody out or keep somebody silent. And you never say silent. It's just the fact that God is everywhere. Eventually, Everybody, we all going to die. We all gonna die. It's not how our lives start. It's always how things will end. Let me go into the book of Ecclesiastes so I can explain that to you on a godly term. Okay. Are y'all still there? I throw y'all bored with me because I ain't giving y'all all of that drama and everything else. I'm just trying to make it make sense. You know, I'm just trying to help y'all make it make sense. I'm just trying to help y'all to be more able to think. If you feel distant from the Lord, who wants to hear that? It's probably okie dokie, okie dokie. Because you haven't. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, y'all. Okay. Okay. I'm going to read this from Ecclesiastes 7. I don't know where I'm going to end at, but when I do end it, I'll let you know where I end at. But if you ever have your word, your Bible, whatever, you can always go and read it for yourself. The value of practical wisdom. Okay. A good name is better, and I'm reading from the New King James Version, Ecclesiastes 7, was written by Solomon. All right. He was the son of David that he had with Bathsheba. Solomon was one of the wisest kings which ever lived, but he came to his downfall because he loved lavish women, strange women, and all kind of women. He has so many. Oh my God! See, every man downfall is going to be a woman. So you got anyway. She either could turn you to be good or evil. A good name is better than precious ornament, ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will take it up to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by a sad countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For like the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression destroys a wise man reason, and a bribe debases the heart. The end of the thing, the end of a thing is better than its beginning. So basically, I'm going to end right there. The end of a thing is better than its beginning. So, I mean, the end of the thing, I've read from verses 1 down to 8, and I'm going to stop on this verse 8. The end of a thing is better than its beginning. You never know how it's going to end. You see what I'm saying? It's not how it begins, but it's always how it's going to end. And it ain't over yet for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, and it definitely ain't over yet for Diddy. People up there, Diddy is done. Diddy is done. You know, you hear them saying Diddy's done, Diddy done. Diddy may not be done, but you may be done. So be careful what you speak into the universe. And especially when you speaking against it on somebody else to happen. because it just might be you. Like the word of God says, judge and not be judged. And I'm going along with this because I'm just hearing it so much on social media. Now they pop up now. First they was talking about the docu-series they're going to start making for Diddy. Then they're going to talk about the PI going on social media making threats. Diddy's people coming on warnings and making threats to people. This man is away from social media. This man ain't even bothering social media. This man is just living his days trying to just stay out of trouble, stay out of sight and out of mind. But people are just out here looking for something to happen to this man's life. And the thing is that be careful for what you ask for because it's what you're going to get. And it may not come to Diddy, but it's going to come to you. And especially if he never done any harm to you. That's why I'm going to continue to speak good on his name, pray for his soul, and continue to be an ambassador for Christ and lift up Jesus. Because like I said, the same way, I still got Robert in my prayers, but I'm not going to rock with nobody but Jesus with this one. Because everybody ain't going in the same place where you going. They could say they for somebody, but I heard people come on here, oh, he didn't do anything for Robert, so I'm not going to support him. Okay, so that means you ain't for Robert either, because the same thing happening to him is the same things that happen to Robert. So whenever you see wrong is wrong, you're supposed to fight for righteousness regardless, whether it was for Robert Sylvester Kelly or it's for P. Diddy. The way they're using this man in the public to lynch him. And the way they lynched Robert Sylvester Kelly. So if you can't care about Diddy, then you can't care about Robert either. Because both men are being played the same way from this industry. And that's the way I see it from a Christian point of view. And also how I seen what they did to Christ. I can't look at it the way you look at it from the worldly views. I got to see it from a Christian lens. And I can't believe that ministers would get out here and call themselves men of God and they crucifying the man as well. And then, believe it or not, there was the religious people that crucified Christ. It was the religious leaders who felt he was taking them out of business. He called them out. They didn't like it. So they got together with the wicked other rulers to get this man on the cross and kill him. So I ain't saying that's what T.D. Jakes is doing. Because he was out there caught up in the mix too with the partying at the freak off, so they say. And he claimed that he was there for the party, for the birthday, for to celebrate. It was either his birthday party, whatever it was. All those celebrities, the elites were there. All the elites were there. But the thing is everybody want to cut themselves to make themselves look clean and put all the blame on Diddy. And say Diddy did it. When everybody did it. And that's another thing I spoke about earlier today. Everybody did it. Steve Harvey, we saw him hanging out around Steve Harvey and his family. And Steve Harvey having his daughter around Diddy and Diddy's son. Those things were caught on film and on camera. So they can't be sitting up here speaking on Diddy when they all did it. They all did the partying, the ecstasies, the whatever they were doing, the freak offs, whatever. So right now, can't nobody talk bad about nobody. But let's all pray and hope that Diddy's soul gets right. That he gets saved, because whatever the end is, It's a whole new good beginning. Doesn't mean just because this feds and his house was raided and his kids were put in handcuffs and they had pointed laser guns and all this stuff and they came in with the SWAT team or whatever to his home and stuff, that this is over for him. That doesn't necessarily mean it'd be over for Diddy. It may just be over for you. So you need to know where your soul is going and get right. May not be over for Diddy. Just like they always say, the one you think is closest to the grave may not be the one going first. And I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen. Because ain't nobody got no heaven or no hell to put nobody. And people need to stop running around here talking and saying that this man is guilty when he has not been tried yet in the court of the American justice system. Not by the court of public opinion, but by the court of the American justice system in the courthouse. And proven by a burden of proof that these things, these events, these things have happened. Just because Cassidy or whatever, she was planted in there. It's obvious. Why would you stay? Why would you even allow yourself to stay? If that's not what you was there for, you're going to get a bag from the man, you're going to do a settlement with the man and everything else, and then you're going to go and then all of a sudden cooperate with the feds. Mm. If that's what she did, I don't know. That's all hearsay anyway, too. That's just to hype things up even more. We don't know that for sure, for sure. Because whatever they got to do with him, and they got to bring it to justice, and they got to bring it to the courthouse or whatever like that, and they got to fight against it. The same thing about them trying to get this documentary going and all this other stuff, like they were successfully trying, that they did to Robert Sylvester Kelly, which I think they need to be trying to find these criminals that's out here killing these women. What about trying to bring justice about that? What about trying to go and see about these guys that's going around shooting their baby mamas, killing their baby mamas and the children? What about getting justice for that young girl that got beat up in Mexico, and her family, which you seen who the perpetrators were, and you still haven't served any justice to Shanquilla? What about the justice for also this young lady that was just a couple of months ago beaten, dragged, shot in the back of her head, left on a dirty mattress to die, and left behind a 3-year-old infant. I mean, a 3-year-old toddler. What about justice for that? And y'all talk about crimes against women and children. Instead of going after Diddy, go after those people. What about those people who done heinous crimes against women and children? How about putting these criminals in jail for life, making life threats to their family, to someone, and then following it through? I'm not keeping them behind bars, even if it sounds like it's little, but it can lead to much. Why not getting them the mental health treatment and the help that they need? You see, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Just I just saw on one of my channels that I watch crime stories, and um, on one of those crime channels or whatever, a 35-year-old just took out her 80-year-old grandmother. Nobody knows the motive of it. Nobody knows really what happened. Went to her grandmother's house and killed her 80-year-old grandmother, a woman. Why can't we turn our focus on that? If you really care about the crimes against women and children and elders, why don't we go get some justice for those crimes? Why don't we put conversations like that around our platform to help the ills in society? Because these things have been happening so much. People peek in and they peek out. Well, anyway, y'all, I'm not going to spend too much more time on this conversation, but I'm just saying don't fall for the tactic on this about a PI going on platforms threatening people for Diddy. I doubt it very much. They did the same thing, and it's just deja vu, things that I already know has happened before, and they trying to repeat the same thing again, and they trying to use the same tactics that they used on Robert Sylvester Kelly. The documentary, setting up these platforms with these people to put out these false narratives and say all of these things that Diddy is committing crimes, Diddy is doing this, Diddy is doing that, Diddy da da da. Okay, and put it all on Diddy. But don't fall for it. Be a critical thinker. Think outside the box. Don't think about don't think on it on worldly views, but think of it on Christian lens. See it through Christian lens. Because these people out here are wicked with the mouth. Don't realize what they say and may be them one day. So be careful how you out here casting judgment and stoning and speaking the worst on somebody's life, trying to condemn someone to hell, not knowing it can be you next. If you're not going to speak of something kind and some solution to the problem, or either make it right, because I don't want that to happen to Diddy. I don't. Now, if Diddy ain't never disrespect me, Diddy ain't never said no bad word to me, even when I came to him kind words of prayer, Diddy ain't never done anything that I ain't never see that man do any crime. And the same I feel about Robert Sylvester Kelly. I ain't never seen none of those things that people said that they said he should deserve punishment for. I didn't never see none of those things. So why should I jump on the bandwagon and say all of that stuff? What did he do to me? He didn't do anything to me. And these women ain't credible. Because why would they even be in with themselves in a relationship like that? If they didn't want to put themselves in a relationship like that, they had options to leave. They made a choice. If this is what you want, this is what you got to do. And if that's not what they wanted to do, then they could have moved, kept it, move in. Because they not. Exactly. They could have kept it moving. They came in because they was assigned to be there to do just what they did. It ain't no sex trafficking, no nothing. That's the business. And they were put in that place to do just that. And there are real women out there who are victims of crimes of sex. There are children who are victims of somebody violating them. So don't come and tell me no grown woman and these grown men who made a conscious decision or made a choice to serve themselves up to do the things they did for money. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not. Whether they was a part of getting they beatings, spankings. Mm-hmm. from Diddy. They was into sadomasochism in those freak offs. They wanted to be devastated on or urinated on for money. I see they still got porn out there. And who's operating that? And Stormy Daniels trying to come for President Trump for Lord Jesus. When these people are doing something that they want to do. And now they're trying to call out being victims when they were volunteers. And want me to jump on the bandwagon and condemn that man to hell. Now, I don't approve of the lifestyle. No, I don't. At all. But I'm just saying, call it, it is what it is. And I'm not going to try to throw stones and condemn an innocent man to hell when his accusers are just as wrong and guilty of the same crime. And people jumping on the bandwagon don't even know really what's happening just so that they can use this opportunity of this man's demise or whatever to make money on their channel or to sell their channel to make views and likes and clicks and whatever. People making up all kind of stuff. My clan was too clean for that. And I tell people, you want to come and talk dirty, then you know what? You're on the wrong channel. You could go on and keep it moving. I'm not that desperate for views. I'm not that desperate for likes. And I'm not that desperate for subscribers. Because if it ain't going to be about clean and about Jesus, then I don't want to be a part of it. I like my channel to stay clean. I like to keep that stuff away from me. Because that's not the lifestyle that I live. And I'm not going to be taking part of the wickedness. I come here to serve the Lord. I come to be on the battlefield for my Lord and Savior. I come out here because I seen a soul on the line, and I'm trying to get to help somebody. That's why I come out here and read what my channel is about. This is what my channel is about. And right now, Robert Sylvester Kelly, he's still fighting for his life. But these people are wicked. They wicked. But it ain't over. It ain't over. And before we leave out of here, I think I'm gonna hit this song up for you. I love this song, and YouTube, every time I play music, they hit me with they come for me. They come for me, y'all. They do come for me. It ain't over. It ain't over. Mm-mm. Okay, it ain't over. It ain't over. I know the odds look stacked up against you, and it seems there's no way out. It seems like there's no way out, y'all. I know the issue seems unchangeable, and that there's no reason to but the impossible, y'all. God can work a miracle. Yes, He can. He can work a miracle. No, it ain't over until God says it's over. It ain't over until God says it's done. It ain't over until God says it's over. Keep fighting until your victory is won. Robert, keep fighting until your victory is won. It ain't over until God says it's over. We've been in it fight for 5 years, and he's still going 5 years strong. So, and for Diddy, they coming for you, but it ain't over until God say it's over. Like they keep saying, Diddy is done, but Diddy's not done. This is just only the beginning. And with that all being said, don't pay attention to the lies on social media about these people that's planned it, setting it up. They setting it up. Okay? So, with that being said, your girl, Casey McDaniel, until next time, be blessed. Peace.